Hey guys, taking a look at ANKR, Anchor, however you want to pronounce it. And I want to try to give some insight into what I see on the chart and how I would approach it. And I'm going to be honest, this one kind of gives me kind of a mixed signal here because when you look at the BTC chart, what you see is a fast run up, peaked out at a really high RSI, and now it's kind of in accumulation consolidation mode here where it's just bouncing around in this little range with a trend line, increasing trend line. So it kind of have an ascending triangle here. And typically what this tells me is that it's probably going to stay in this range for a little while. I'm talking probably June, July, and just kind of bounce around in here until it finally breaks out and goes to the next leg. That's what I would typically see in a chart like this. And while that sounds great, where my concern starts to come in is when I look at the USDT chart. And so you see this trend line here going back to early March. And it stayed pretty much on this trend line for the most part until about mid-February, where it really took off. And now it's in this range here between like 12 cents and 22 cents. And we've kind of stayed in this range since late March. Now, if the idea is to trade this, I don't see any problem buying at the support line and then selling at this resistance, or even selling around this region here in 17 cents and then buying back in at the support line and selling at 17 cents. My concern is that this looks very toppy. We have a double top here, and we very well could come back to the trend line. But what we see back here is when we got very overvalued at the trend line, we came down to it and then just kind of traded sideways for a while. We went through it and then finally came back up. So saying all that, what we could see here is just sort of a sideways movement, then maybe a small breakdown, and then boom, back up. And then that would kind of match this, where we probably just stay on the lower end of this until we bounce up and then break through. So saying all that, I'm not necessarily sure I'd want to buy it at this point. And the main reason why is just because of this here and how much this is overvalued against the trend line. I just don't know if I see the reward for the risk with ANKR, especially when you see other setups that just look so overwhelmingly juicy. And it kills me to say it because I look through their website and what they're doing, and I really like what they're doing. I'm just really struggling to see the value of putting the money into it right now. And the BTC chart looks bullish. I mean, it does look bullish. Like if it's on this trend line, I don't mind buying it and taking that risk and just setting a stop loss below it. I mean, the base here, it's around like 214, 213. So, I mean, especially if it's on this line, sounds like a pretty good buy, and then let it rise back up and then possibly sell most of it here to take a small profit and then hold a small bag in case it does run. But man, when I look at this one, I really have concerns. I just don't know if it can rise more above this without coming back to this trend line first. So that's kind of my thoughts on this one. I would say really measure your risk reward here and whether or not you want to take those risks for the reward. I don't know if there's a lot of reward on this one right now because if anything, I could kind of see this pulling back from here and maybe coming back to this level and retesting this level first before it going above this one. Because you can see like this held pretty good as resistance. I could kind of see it coming back and testing this first. So doing like maybe like breaking through this and then coming down and doing like a big swoop and then coming back up. But I mean, that also is saying like, will we still be in a bull cycle in September or August? I'm not necessarily sure. I'm just going to say I think there's better opportunities than ANKR, and it's hard to say because I really like the project. but I just don't know if I personally would want to take this risk. So, saying all that, please let me know in the comments what you think. I would love to hear other people's opinions on this one, because this one kind of does have me a little bit perplexed, and I would like to hear what other people think. Let me know if there's any other coins you'd like me to take a look at. Please do not forget to subscribe and follow, and I look forward to making a new video for you soon. Thank you.